Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I'm just sitting here drinking my morning coffee, getting ready to get my day started. Getting ready to squat here. And today I thought I would talk to you guys a little bit about a topic that came up from my DEXA scan video the other day, where we actually found muscle imbalances, and that's possibly largely due to mixed grip. So people have asked questions about, how do I feel now about mixed grip, straps, hook grip, all of that stuff. And like I've told you guys already, I'm working on the hook grip. I haven't done mixed grip in over 2 months. I haven't done any. I've been using the trap bar. I'm slowly working on my hook grip. I'm getting to where I can hold heavier and heavier weights with a hook grip without it being excruciating. And so, like for me, my own goal when I get to where I'm squatting 500 every day, again, I should have my hook grip strong enough where I can start conventional pulling again and start doing a hook grip. But the main thing is if I can't hook grip at least 500, it's not going to work for me at this point. So I'm going to have to just keep building that up. And I've got a couple of months left to do that because I'm predicting 10 to 12 weeks before I'm at that point on my squat. So I'll be over there. So the question that comes up, people are like, well, how do you feel about mixed grip? How do you feel about straps? What if I don't want to learn the hook grip? Can I go ahead and use straps? My take on all of that is that no, if you cannot learn the hook grip, you don't want to learn the hook grip. And I've changed my stance on that, guys. That's one of those things where I've looked at it, I've had to be objective and realize I've been stubborn. I've been stubborn for the wrong reasons and saying that hook grip isn't all that great. No, it really is. It's just that it hurts to learn. There's a learning process to it. It's really uncomfortable. But at the end of the day, I feel like for me, it's probably worth it. Now, for a lot of you guys who may not get strong enough to risk really tearing a bicep, your form will be good. I'm going to say a lot of you mixed grip is fine. It's fine. The reason I develop an imbalance and why I have more muscle, like the DEXA scan says I have 5.5 pounds more muscle on the left side of my trunk than my right, even though my left arm has 1.5 pounds less muscle in it. Due to that old injury, I lost tissue. People need to remember that. I didn't just tear my bicep. I lost part of my bicep. Like the doctor had to take necrotic tissue out. I saw it. It was the size of my thumb. That's permanent tissue loss. But there's a couple of things going on with that. Because of that, you guys got to remember, I never stopped deadlifting. I've done stuff like stop squatting, stop benching for 2 years before. I never stopped deadlifting, and I have continually done a mixed grip, which means pronated left, all right, overhand grip, and then underhand grip on the right. I warm up that way. I don't alternate it. Now you combine that with the fact that I have a left bicep that's weaker, what's going to happen? There's going to be some compensation for that. My left lat and things are probably stronger from my chin-ups because I've gotten decently strong at chin-ups. Considering I do dead hang chins now with 90 to 100 pounds and I'm weighing in the high 230s, I'm chinning well over 300 pounds from a dead hang pretty regularly. My lats have to compensate for that a little bit on the left side, so that's probably causing me to develop that. But mainly, I've got that imbalance, and because I have for years and years done only one side, the mixed, it has probably contributed to some additional side loading. Now, most of you aren't going to have that problem. Number one, most of you aren't going to have a bicep that's missing a full pound of muscle compared to your other side. It doesn't even look that different to me in the thing, but that's what the scan showed back. But I was thinking I'm just like an inch smaller on the left side. I guess it's pretty significant. But you're not going to be in that situation, and you have the option to alternate it back and forth. You guys got to remember, my imbalance is most likely developed due to, again, compensation on other pulling, like chin-ups, rows, things like that, combined with the fact that I have repeatedly, for years and years, I have done hundreds and hundreds of reps with over 500 pounds with a mixed grip with the exact same mix every time. That's over time most likely was contributed. Those of you who can change it every time, you're not dealing with an old injury you're scared of or an old bicep problem like that, you can change it every single rep. In fact, what I would say, if you're going to do a 4-rep set, you could do 2 of them one way, 2 of them the other, because you're going to reset the bar on every deadlift anyways. I am anti-touch and go deadlift, so you're all going to be resetting anyways, right? Just switch it every time. And I would say, don't be stubborn like me, though. I would say if you're going to be serious about your lifting, learning the hook grip might be worth your time. It more and more Powerlifters are realizing this, that the Olympic guys have had it right. It's becoming more and more mainstream to deadlift with a hook grip. I mean, we got guys now who are deadlifting 900 plus pounds with a hook grip, like Dr. Deadlift. I mean, that's crazy. It's becoming mainstream. Look how many even YouTubers who go and do powerlifting meets say they only do hook grip. It's becoming normal. People are waking up and realizing it really is the way to go. Yeah, there's a learning curve. Yeah, it hurts. But you'll get there. Even Devin Palumbo, chatting with him, he only does hook grip now. So it'll be worth your time to learn it. Now we come back to the point of straps. No, most of you don't need straps. And I understand there are specialized circumstances where certain very strong people can benefit from straps. I promise you 95% of you listening will never be in a position in your life where you probably need straps. I don't see myself ever needing straps. Because the problem we run into, if we're going to talk about muscle imbalances, there's a muscle imbalance. If you pull with straps with any significant amount of your training volume, you're going to have a weaker grip and you're going to have weak forearms. That is a muscle imbalance, all right? And we talk about getting hurt due to muscle imbalances. You don't think you can get injured in different situations by having a weak grip? It's that your back is dramatically stronger than? Of course it will. Of course that can cause injuries. It is a muscle imbalance. And people get caught up in this mindset. It's the problem is the bodybuilding mindset that you think you're training body parts instead of training your body. If you think that you're doing the deadlift or the chin up just to build your back, you're missing the whole point. You're missing the point. You're not doing it just to build your back. You're doing it to build your entire body up, to build your strength, to build everything. The deadlift works every muscle in the body, and that includes the forearms and the grips. Same thing with your rowing, same thing with your chinning, same thing with your pull-ups. Those are your forearm exercises. Don't let yourself get imbalanced to the point to where you need straps. And I understand there are certain exercises where straps are beneficial. Rows and deadlifts shouldn't be on that list. All right, you need that extra pulling volume to build your forearms, to build your grip. And like I've said before, not being able to assess your grip day to day takes away one of the most important cues you have to spot overtraining or chronic overreaching. You need your grip as one of your forms of feedback to tell you what's going on with your training and with your recovery. Because losing grip strength dramatically overnight is a sign that there's something with your programming that needs to be adjusted. It's oftentimes one of the first signs that it's time to deload. When you put straps on, you lose that, and then of course many of you end up having a weak grip. And I mean, I suppose it would be fine for some people to use straps if they actually do grip work, but I can assure you most of the guys out there using straps are not dedicating an hour a week to extra grip work, right? They probably don't own a set of pinch blocks. They probably don't own any grip training equipment. And then they'll say things like, well, I'll train my grip later. Well, you're going to create a muscle imbalance, and it's just silly to do so. It really is. The overwhelming majority of you, if you need straps to do rows, you're weak already. Your grip is weak. You need to fix that. The last thing you need to be doing is encouraging that muscle imbalance to get worse. So I'm still going to go out on a limb and say that for the majority of people, there's no reason for you to own a pair of straps. I understand there are programming uses for straps for some advanced lifters, depending upon the programming you're doing. I will concede that point. But that's also program dependent. You don't necessarily need them on every program. You don't necessarily need to own a pair of straps to do programming that'll get you to a 600 or a 700 pound deadlift. Put that in perspective. So that's ultimately what we're talking about there. I'm going to say at the end of the day, you're probably for most of you, your best option is to go ahead and learn the hook grip. And if you don't want to learn the hook grip, you're probably better off alternating your mixed grip back and forth. And I mean, even if you want to do it on every single rep when you pull, you can go back and forth. Or if you're only pulling singles, every other single or every other workout, you can switch it. So then that will help balance things out. Because I have noticed personally, I've got DEXA scan data showing me that I have an imbalance. My mixed grip is very, very likely the most likely contributor to it. Granted, the other stuff does matter. But an imbalance on chin-ups due to having a weak bicep is not going to create 5 pounds of muscle difference in my left side, because it involves my core, it involves my lats, my traps, everything. So again, there's a significant imbalance there, and I've developed it due to that uneven loading for years and years with heavy weight. And that can be avoided with either one of those fixes. You don't necessarily need to go to straps to avoid that. All right, guys, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.